Access Stadium, as usual, sold out for this match. And there's Darrell Johnson. He's been at this a long time. But a long time doesn't make any difference. You still get into it. You still get excited. You still get emotional.
Yeah, and that's the only way to play the game when you think of Emmitt Smith going for the all-time rushing record today for the Dallas Cowboys. You also think of the guy that blocked for him all those yards was Darrell Johnston as his fullback.
And nobody does it better. Jeff Ogden and Kevin Mathis back deep, and it's Mathis to return the kickoff. He's about due to break something. At the 26, and let's look at the Dallas offense now, led by the recovered, or at least he says so, Troy Aikman. 171 passing yards, 2 touchdowns last week against Philadelphia. Actually, it was this week. Larry Allen, Nate Newton, Shiver, Adams, Tony Hudson in place of Eric Williams at right tackle. Smith and Darrell Johnson, the 2 backs, Billy Davis and Michael Irvin, the wide receivers, and David LaFleur, the tight end. Aikman brings him up. Smith is deep and Darrell Johnson in front of him. Emmitt Smith outside the 30, the 32 or 3. Here is the Giant defense coming up, and there is a conspicuous missing person. Michael Strahan is not in there at the moment. Harris, Hamilton, and Bratsky, the rest of them are. That's the front 4. The linebackers, Jesse Armstead, Corey Widmer, and Marcus Buckley in the secondary. Hamilton, Wooten, Ellsworth, and Felipe Sparks.
And Cedric Jones is playing right here for Michael Strahan.
Smith again. First down and more. Into Giant territory goes Emmitt Smith. A flag on the play.
Well, Smith is saying that flag is for a face mask infraction. You know, if you know, we talk about Strahan not being there at the left end. Tony Hudson is starting his first start as a tackle for Eric Williams on that side. But the place to run anyway is the left side behind Larry Allen. Watch him. I mean, he explodes and gets such movement on that side. Then you just get in behind Moose Johnston, and that's the way to go. I mean, you can say that, you know, that Eric Williams isn't there, Strahan isn't there. But when you have a guy on your left side like Larry Allen, that's where you're going to run. Watch right here at the end of the play, Pat. It was 98 Jesse Armstead on the face mask.
It was a 5-yard face mask violation. So the Cowboys had the ball, and Aikman is back to throw. Low throw to Michael Irvin, incomplete.
What the Giants are saying about Strahan now, Pat, is that they're going to use him as a role player. In fact, Jim Fossil talked a little about that last night. And the role that he's going to play to start this game is just the 3rd down. So, of course, that means that they have to get like an incomplete pass, and then they have to stop him on 2nd down to get Michael Strahan in there where he can maybe take advantage of Tony Hudson, the right tackle.
Billy Davis wide right. He goes in motion. Irvin is to the left, and Aikman takes the reverse. Going to throw the screen pass to Emmitt Smith from behind. Good play by the Giant defense by Cedric Jones.
Yeah, I think that they know that, you know, when Corey Widmer, the middle linebacker, lines up outside, that he's going to blitz from that side.
That's Michael Strahan. Got here earlier this morning, about 2 hours before game time.
It's never going to be 100, but good enough to play.
Good enough, but never going to be 100.
Yeah, when he's saying he's not 100%, he's not all the way back, but he's good enough to play. And when you get past the mid-season point in the National Football League, there aren't many players that are at 100.
3rd and 8. Shotgun formation. Aikman throws. Pass complete. Not enough. It doesn't appear for a first down. Michael Irvin made the catch.
You see what
about a yard short.
I was just going to say, see what they did to Michael Strahan. Because it was a 3-man line, they brought Flozell Adams, a right guard. Now here's Tony Hudson. Now here's Flozell Adams, and here's Michael Strahan. So they're going to double him. They're going to give him help. You see, he comes here and watch Flozell Adams. He just goes over there and finishes him. They build a wall around Troy Aikman.
Well, they're wise.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know that Tony Hudson is going to get help all day, and That's one thing about this Cowboy offensive line. When you have Larry Allen on the other side that doesn't need any help whatsoever, your whole game plan can just be give all your help to your right side.
Tony Hudson has been a guard all of his life. This is his first start at tackle.
And this is one here for Chan Gailey now. You see what happens is Michael Irvin just, had he gone about 2 or 3 more yards and gotten that first down, Chan Gailey wouldn't have this decision right now to have to go for it on 4th down.
This is inches.
But I think at home on this field against this team, this is the right call.
Darrell Johnston and Emmitt Smith deep.
Take that right up the middle. That was behind. You would think they'd go to the left behind Larry Allen. That time they went right behind Nate Newton. Here's Nate Newton, the left guard. They're going to take it right in here, right in this area here. They're going to start off on a double team. See the double team right there? That creates the hole in the middle. Double team with Clay Shiver, the center. He comes off in a linebacker, and they form a nice wall there for Emmitt Smith to get through on short yardage.
So Dallas first down at the Giant 31. And here's Emmitt again. Michael Irvin, by the way, with a pass that was just shy of the first down, has caught a pass in 117 consecutive games. So that streak stays alive.
And that's always one of the goals, is you want to get the ball to Michael Irvin, obviously, the whole game. But he's one of those guys that you want to get him involved in the game early. So you want to get him the ball very early in the game. And, of course, the other guy you want to get involved, which is real easy, is that guy there, Emmitt Smith, and they're doing a good job of that.
2nd and 7. Emmitt again. And Emmitt hammers for the 20. That should be enough for another Cowboy first down. Marcus Buckley made the stop.
He's going inside, but here, watch Larry Allen get this thing on Chad Bradsky here, and then you're going to get again the push in the middle, and this is where they're doing the work right on this side here. You see, they get a good push, and what happens is the Giants, because the Cowboys are going to the left, they're going to overreact. But watch when Larry Allen fires out. I mean, he just knocks Chad Bradsky on the initial move about 3 yards back.
Here's Emmitt again, who's picking his spots and gets down to about the 16. Whitmer made the stop.
Hey, one thing about the Cowboys, and we know that the Giants are all about defense, and over the years, the Giants have played run defense as well as most teams in this league, and looks like the Cowboys are coming out and just taking it to them right now and saying, well, we're going to check your run defense in this first quarter.
Emmitt's getting a rest. Chris Warren will take his place.
Look at that. Emmitt Smith already has 43 yards, so
he needed 95 to break Dorsett's record.
One of their goals. He needs 52 more yards.
And here's Warren at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he fell forward for a yard. Cedric Jones trapped him up.
I think that this is one of the things, you talk about Troy Aikman and recovering from a broken collarbone, and he said it still does hurt him.
Yeah.
And and his back still bothers him a little. And I think, and I've always said this, that the best friend of a quarterback is a good running game, and it's also the best friend of an offensive line as a pass protector.
3rd and 5. Still Chris Warren. Billy Davis in motion. And he might have been in motion as he moved his shoulders forward.
Number 89, offense.
LaFleur.
3rd down.
And Billy Davis was moving in towards LaFleur. Here's David LaFleur. He's the tight end. Billy Davis is coming in motion. You see LaFleur moved right there. He moved forward.
Yeah. Actually, they both moved forward.
That's the thing that Chan Gailey was talking about that upset him so much in the last couple of games. They've had a lot of what he calls pre-snap penalties, and that was one right there.
3rd and 10. Strahan in the game for the Giants, and here's Aikman back to throw it. And he didn't have any time, did well to get out of it.
Because of Michael Strahan. Did you see that? Did you see the job that he did on Tony Hudson? He just went into him and then took the inside right now. He didn't look like his back is bothering. Watching it here, he's gone boom and then right to the inside. Watch him. This is what Troy Aikman saw right there. The hit, then he takes the inside. Troy Aikman was going to step, and that's what you have to do to quarterback. That's what you have to do to Troy Aikman. That's how you throw off rhythm. That's exactly what Michael Strahan did.
Richie Cunningham will attempt it. The field goal from 37 yards out. Bjornsson holding. And Richie Cunningham is right down the middle to put the Cowboys on top. 3-0. 8:32 left in the first quarter, and Dallas leads it by a field goal. That's a diet I don't think I would enjoy very much.
Yeah, but you have a lot. I mean, it's like being at a smorgasbord. I mean, you can eat as much as you want, all you can eat.
As long as you get some rain and it grows. They'll be going to kick off. Patton and Barber back deep. This is going to be David Patton out of the end zone. One of the Giants who has the speed. He's down shy of the 20, about the 19. Charlie Williams is there to knock him down. 3-0 Dallas. For the first time, the Giants will have the ball, and they'll start from their own 19, 20-yard line with Danny Cannell, their quarterback. 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he's going to throw it on first down if he has time, and he has time. About a 2-yard completion, and that's the kind of thing that they've really been trying to get away from. Charles Way made the catch. Here's the offense. Danny Cannell, as we mentioned, the quarterback, 6'3", 220 now from Florida State. In front of him, Oben, Bishop, Scott Stone, and Scott Gregg. The receiving corps, Ike Hilliard and Howard Cross and Chris Callaway and Charles Way and Gary Brown, the two backs. That's Way moving around. And Brown moves ahead outside the 25, about the 27. The Dallas defense, Deion Sanders, of course, a very important part of it. The front four, Leon Ledkivik, Pittman, Chad Hennings, and Greg Ellis, the rookie from North Carolina. Coakley, Strickland, and Randall Godfrey, the linebackers. Godfrey having a great year. Deion Sanders, the incomparable Deion Sanders. Stoudemire Woodson, and Kevin Smith.
You know, after the first play, Pat, Deion Sanders was holding his ribs.
That's Tiki Barber, who cut it upfield, and I believe got enough for a Giant first down.
This is the thing that the Giants have to do. We talk about defense and we talk about getting turnovers, but they also have to be able to run the ball and get first downs. Those kinds of things. Not let have those 3 and outs, and that's the thing that has really been killing them. They haven't been getting enough yards on first down. They're 29th in the league. Then they're also 29th in the league on third down conversion.
They go with 3 wide receivers, and Cannell going upfield, got a man wide open. That was Chris Callaway,
and did he turn Kevin Smith around? We talk about Kevin Smith, the cornerback. Watch him. I mean, he's going to come back. Here's Callaway here. He's going to run it out. But watch what he does to Kevin Smith. He tells him that he's going to go up. Kevin Smith continues to go up for 10 more yards. And then Callaway breaks it off. You talk about a guy playing without confidence. It's Kevin Smith.
This is Gary Brown around the corner, knocked out of bounds in front of the Cowboy bench, but good yardage. Nevertheless, Kenny Wheaton took him out of bounds.
Yeah, I just have a feel about this Giant offense. It's a little more aggressive today.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just starting. It's the first time they have the ball. But they come out and they pass first, and then they pick up a first down and a run, and then they get Kevin Smith turned around and hit one to Callaway, and they look like they're playing offensively and not more aggressively to start this game.
Here's Brown straight ahead. 5:40 left in the first quarter, and Dallas leading, but the Giants on the move.
And that's the thing. If the Giants are going to be the Giants, we talk about the things that they have to do defensively. We know the things they have to do to Deion Sanders, who, by the way, as you can see here, doesn't get into defensive huddle. But they also have to be able to run the ball. And I think Charles Way is going to be a big part of that.
Three wide receivers set up. It might have been the Cowboys' Leon Lett who jumped offside. Johnny Greer's the referee, by the way.
Leon Lett is one of the quickest guys in the league. You're getting off on the ball.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 78. Still first down.
And what he tries to do is he tries to, get when the ball is moved. But watch the ball. The ball hasn't moved yet, and Leon Lett's moved. I think he felt his middle linebacker. You see that Fred Strickland was behind him? And I think he felt sometimes a guy behind him would come up, and as he's faking a move, he'll touch you. And that's just enough to, boom, to pop you off there.
1st and 5. Charles Way hammers straight ahead. He appears to have enough for a first down.
This is one of the things that the Giants want to do is use some more one back like this. See, they just have one back here. They have a tight end here and 3 wide receivers, and then that one back is Charles Way, and they can just hand him the ball like this on pickle hole. You see, and the line just fires out, and if they just over pursue a little, he can cut back. If they don't, he just runs right through the assigned hole.
Gary Brown is back, and he gets the carry, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe got back as Fred Strickland, who was there first.
Fred Strickland plays the run well between tackles. I mean, the Cowboys have fast linebackers, Fred Strickland not being one of them. But the thing that he does is he does fill these holes right here, in this area right here, and you're going to see him fill the hole right here. You see him come here, and they start to the left, and here comes Fred Strickland right there.
2nd and 8, 2 tight ends set up for the Giants. Cannell back to throw. His protection is good, but his receiver can't hold on. Papunu had it and dropped it.
When Jim Fossil was talking last night, he said the one thing that he thinks, well, I mean, I think this offense needs a lot of things. I think they need speed because they really don't scare anyone on offense, but he was talking about a tight end. He said to really have the offense that he wants, he says next year and the next year and the following year and the year after that and the year after that, they're going to have to get a pass receiving tight end.
So we might check out when drafting time comes what they do. Timeout. Giant timeout.
We come here on a glorious quest, a search for that which can be found nowhere else. Where, in the trenches where mighty men clash, amidst the echoes of glories past, high atop Olympus. Oh, this is our quest. This is what football is all about. Now all I gotta do is find that nacho guy.
The cheerleaders begin at an early age. With a lot of enthusiasm, too.
What was that country wrestling, mamas don't let your sons grow up to be cowboys.
Right.
I wonder if there's one about mamas let your little girls grow up to be cowboy cheerleaders.
Absolutely. Diving catch, and that is a catch by David Patton.
If the Giants have any speed, that's it. It's David Patton right there, and he comes in when they go 3 or 4 wide receivers. And 2 things happened on that. One, they threw the ball to their speed guy, but the other thing they did is they worked on Deion Sanders. But the third thing, and the most important thing, it didn't work because it was short and they had to kick a field goal anyway.
The Giants will try the field goal. Daloiso with Maynard holding. 132 yards out. Daloiso's always had a strong leg. And in this case, it's not very accurate as well. And it's 3-3 in the first quarter. No,
I'd never do that. I didn't know that was how they did it. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into that.
That's an art. Yeah. This is Kevin Mathis to the 40. 3-3 tie with 3 minutes and 4 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And sort of both teams feeling their way a bit so far. 3-3. Central here on Fox. We're at Texas Stadium and it's 3-3 first quarter. Aikman to Emmitt Smith. Emmitt breaks into the secondary to midfield, breaks a tackle. Emmitt all the way to the 40.
Yeah, Emmitt's fired up today. He's going for that record. Yeah, he followed Nate Newton. Watch Nate Newton. His left guard is going to pull and make a block right here. And you see Emmitt's going to get right in behind Nate Newton, 61. You see Larry Allen comes down. Nate Newton comes around. Boom! He gets that block right there. And that's the one that formed the wall again to get Emmitt Smith through it.
And that got him over 12,000 yards. The 8th player in NFL history to rush for that total. He's creeping up on Tony Dorsett.
And he's going after it today, isn't it?
Aikman back to throw. Dumps in the middle for nothing. Right now for an NFL update, let's return to Joe Buck in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat, how about Dan Reeves and the Atlanta Falcons off to the best start in franchise history? Great start today in New England, already up 7-0. The 7-yard strike to O.J. Santiago makes it 14-0 Atlanta. Let's send you back to Dallas and Pat and John.
That's amazing what the Falcons and Dan Reeves have done.
You know, you talk about some of these old quarterbacks and the job that they're doing. Some of these coaches that have been around a little while, like Dan Reeves, are doing a pretty good job, too.
Here's Emmitt Smith again, and this time it's just a couple.
You know who's playing well today is Nate Newton.
Yeah.
I mean, he's last week he got a concussion and knocked out, but today they're really working that left side. See Chan Gailey there calling the plays. Now Chan Gailey calls the plays, and he just calls a number. And then that number corresponds with the number on the wristband on Troy Aikman's wrist. Now Troy Aikman on both wrists has all the plays. He has 1 through 65. 1 through 32 on one wrist, 33 to 65 on the other wrist. So the whole offense are numbered and on his wrists.
Aikman from the shotgun. Michael Irvin, the intended receiver, incomplete. And no flag on the play. Conrad Hamilton right with him. This might be a little too far for Richie Cunningham to try a field goal.
Good coverage by Conrad Hamilton. You see, he gets a little bump there. You have to be physical on the line with Michael Irvin, and then he runs and he gets between Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. And watch his hand right at the end. He reaches back and gets his left hand just enough to knock that ball out of Michael Irvin's hand.
Just enough. Toby going back to punt. 53 seconds left to play in the first quarter. 3-3 tie. Zorn hangs one high. The Cowboys will try to down it, and it just skipped away. The coverage was there. The people were there. But you never know what's going to happen to that ball. How it's going to bounce, especially on a field like that. Tonight, don't forget that season premiere of the X-Files. Will you be home in time to see it?
No. I'll be on the bus, so I'll be on the bus going home. And now, you know, I have 2 satellite dishes on the bus now, so I can watch television in the front, and I can watch them in the back, and I get like 500 channels, so I can watch it on the bus.
I'll tape it for you if you want.
No. I said no. I can watch it. I'll be there live. I'll be flopping around watching it live.
Good place to flop. Cowboys coming on a blitz. Pass incomplete as they tried to slant in front of Kevin Smith to Ike Hilliard.
Yeah, I think everyone's throwing that slant way too much now. But if you're going to do anything in the passing game, the first thing you have to do is get this guy, Leon Lett. I mean, if the Cowboys have a dominant player in their front 7, it's Leon Lett. And you see that they get a little help there. Greg Bishop has him, has a pretty good. Oben comes in and gives him a little more help, but they kept him away from Danny Cannell.
2nd and 10. Cannell with good protection. Throws intended for Callaway, again defended by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to work on. I mean, you know, downfield they're going to work on Kevin Smith. On the line of scrimmage they're going to work on Leon Lett. And that's the thing that they have to do. If he goes outside, he's going to be doubled. If he goes inside, he's going to be doubled. That time, the center, you see Lance Scott just sat there and waited for Leon Lett to come inside.
So they tripled him that time.
Well, yeah, because if he was going to go outside, Roman Oben, the tackle, would get him. Greg Bishop has him, and then when he goes inside, Lance Scott gets him.
4 wide receivers set up this time. Barber was the setback, and Cannell fires incomplete. They're working again on Kevin Smith, or trying to David Patton. Good job.
And one thing, I think, do you say they're working away from Deion Sanders, or do you say that they're working on Kevin Smith? Of course, because of Kevin Smith here and this good coverage out here, you see he's up there. He has good coverage. There's no place for Danny Cannell to throw that. He throws it away. Now they create this situation. This could be the biggest play in the game. These plays punting to Deion Sanders.
And Deion's going to have a chance. To the 50. To the Giant 39. Marcus Buckley made the stop.
The one thing that they're trying to do is they want to take the punter and they want to have him directional kick and kick the ball here or kick the ball here, either between the numbers and the sideline or just out of bounds. Now, if that happens, of course, then the referee goes back here. This guy comes up and he's going to point, where the ball does go out of bounds. Now, that was the plan. That was the plan that the Giants have. But when you get backed up and you're in the minus side of the field like that, there's no way that you can directional kick or kick the ball out of bounds.
It just becomes harder and harder. Here's Aikman. Just does get rid of the ball, and he's down on the turf. He's hit by Robert Harris. Aikman, of course, against Denver in the second week of the season, broke his collarbone. Last week was his first week back since then.
And you can see Chan Gailey, we talked about how he calls the plays, and you can see that he ran the ball 9 times, 6 passes, 13 different formations. So their goal was to give them a lot of formations and run the ball. Maybe so that they don't have too many of these, because this is the side that they're getting the pressure from, the right side of their offensive line.
3 wide receivers, Strahan's in the game. Aikman back to throw. Pass caught. That should be enough for a Dallas first, caught by Michael Irvin.
I remember when Norv Turner was here, and we used to talk about the Dallas Cowboy offense, and you'd ask Norv, what are you going to do? And he said simply, run it with Emmitt and have Troy throw it to Michael.
That's a pretty good formula. That's the end of the first quarter with the score: the Cowboys 3, the Giants 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Timeout. He was checking his index finger on his right hand, his throwing hand.
Yeah, watch what happens right here. Keith Hamilton, number 75, is going to come in and hit him right there. And I think that he hit him right on the shoulder, and I think he got his finger caught up in there, because watch as he starts to get up here. See him looking at his finger now?
He's already doing it.
Yeah, and then he went over to the sideline, and he started trying to throw footballs.
Billy Davis goes in motion. Hand off to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt twists back inside, down close to the 25. He's 29 yards away from Tony Dorsett's all-time Dallas Cowboy rushing record.
And usually as the game goes on, running gets easier, because the defense is always has a little more quickness early in the first quarter, and then less in the second, less in the third, and less in the fourth. But it looks like now that the running is getting tougher, that the Giant defense is a little tougher against the run now than they were earlier.
2nd and 8. Emmitt will try again. Emmitt looks and finds some room down to the 21. And let's go for an NFL update to Joe Buck in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat, New Orleans and Minnesota. Randall Cunningham out early with a twisted right ankle. Brad Johnson says, remember me? 14-yard touchdown throw to Chris Carter. They're up 7-0, and Carter now the all-time touchdown leader in Viking history. They're just about to start the second quarter in Minnesota. Back to Pat and John in Dallas.
3rd and 4 at the Giant 21.
And that was interesting, Minnesota. That's how I thought Brad Johnson would get back in there.
Yep. Chris Warren alongside Aikman. And the handoff is to Warren, who's tripped up short of the first down, short of the line of scrimmage by Mike Strahan.
After Troy Aikman got hit by Keith Hamilton, the Cowboys ran to the ball twice. I wonder if there's still something wrong with Troy. I wonder if he can't throw the ball because Chan Gailey didn't call a pass play after he was hurt.
Well, let's see what he does right here.
Well, you know, this is again after that second run. He's still looking at the finger on his right hand.
And so is the medical staff.
Yeah, and so is his backup, Jason Garrett.
Richie Cunningham from 39 yards out this time. And that's no good. And so the score remains Giants 3, Cowboys 3. We're in the second quarter. 12:59 left before the half.
Cadillac dealers and by the United States Marine Corps. The change is forever.
They've been working on Troy Aikman's finger this whole time out. This is Gary Brown of the Giants. Here's what they were doing a minute ago.
Well, you know, earlier they'd put a piece of tape on it, and then Troy Aikman pulled that off.
Yep.
And then he wanted something different, and you know, it may not be, you know, such a big thing about the cut, but it's on the throwing hand, you know, and that's the thing, and that's the part of the finger, you know, that controls the ball and all those things.
Plus, the field is wet. The result of a high school game here played Friday night at Charles Way. The field is wet. They covered it yesterday, as they're required to, but the field never had a chance to dry. So that's not one of his favorable conditions anyway.
No, and of course, even Danny Cannell, I mean, he threw a couple of knuckleballs out there. But let's see what the Giants did. They ran 8 times past 7 on their first 15 plays from 15 different formations. The first 15 plays, the Giants were in a different formation every play.
That's Brown, stopped by Dexter Coakley.
But, you know, here's one of the biggest improvement of the Giants in this game so far, Pat, is right here. Average yards on first down. They were like 3.7 or something, 29th in the league. But today, here they are. They're averaging 7.7 yards on first down. Now, that makes sense. If you can get a bunch on first down, then you're not going to end up in those third and long. And the things that the Giant offense is not good is third and long. So the way to stay out of them is have success on first down.
They only got 2 on that first down, so it's 2nd and 8. And here's Cannell back to throw it. Not much pressure. Chased by Pittman. And out of bounds.
Danny Cannell was waiting on that one and waiting. He's trying to use that time clock in his head. But you can see, look at this, on third down situations, the Giants have been in 6 or more yards to go on third down 65 times. And that's the second most in the league. And then you look right up here what they are right now, 3rd and 9. This is not a down in distance that the Giants are very proficient in offensively.
They need 9 for a first down. The Cowboys showed blitz and then backed out of it. Cannell. That ball slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, and you wonder if that was just a bad throw or if that ball is wet, because Danny Cannell has thrown some ugly passes. I mean, he's thrown a couple of look like knuckleballers, and as you said, that one there just slid right out of his hand. I mean, just watch this thing come out of there. I mean, there's not a spiral on that thing. That looked like a wounded duck.
That looked like, with all respect to my friend Billy Kilmer, that looks like one of his balls.
He used to flung a duck?
Yes, he did. Here's Dion. He steps out of the ball. He is exciting, isn't he?
You can just feel it in the crowd when he gets the ball, can't you?
He's going to make something happen before it's over.
The North Star system.
That's Giant fullback Charles Way down at the bottom of that pile, who limped off the field after that last play before the punt return by Deion Sanders.
I think in a Giants plan today, Charles Way was going to be a big part of it. We talked about how he wanted to use a package of 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 1 back, and that 1 running back being Charles Way.
Aikman 4 out of 8 for just 22 yards, and now with a bad finger and a wet ball.
This looks like a pass here.
Low. Intended for Michael Irvin, who was coming back toward him, but
Did you notice up at the line of scrimmage when just before the ball was snapped, Troy Aikman licked his fingers?
Yes.
That's the thing. I mean, going all the way back to high school and junior college and college, when I coached defense, I always taught that to watch the guy. If he licks his fingers like this, watch, just before the ball. If he's up there and he licks his fingers, he's just licking his fingers to throw the football. He's not licking his fingers to hand it off.
I mean, with computers and all the scouting and all that.
You still do it. If they lick their fingers just before the snap of the ball, it's going to be a pass.
He's got a bad finger. Anyway.
Well, maybe he's licking the blood off or something.
Number 61, offense.
I think that they get into, you know, baseball pitchers, they do, you know, they always got the end, they're always doing that kind of stuff. And I think the guys just get in a habit and they don't even know that they're doing it. Yep, you see what happened? Yeah, Nate Newton rocked back. The old, Nate in the rocker, once he gets that rocker going backwards, he can't stop the rocker.
The rocker's going to keep going.
Well, always will, always has.
And that's one of those pre-snap penalties that upset Shane Gailey so much. Here's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt needed just 23 yards to break and set the all-time record of the Cowboys. That's going to be close.
I think he did it, Pat. I think it's not only close, I think that's it.
He just broke it. You're right.
And you see him here, and you see he's the only back in the backfield. And again, it's a counter play. He takes that little counter step to the left, then he comes back to the right, gets a good block right there from Billy Davis. That springs him. And then you knew that he was going to get the record the way he finished that off.
Emmitt in action, the all-time Dallas Cowboy rushing leader now, just past Tony Dorsett. Different kind of runner, but same kind of results.
Yep, and they're just announcing it now.
And they're going to give him the ball. Jerry Jones down on the sideline. His co-running back, Chris Warren, the first out to congratulate him along with Jason Garrett.
You know, and you think of the two guys that have been there with him as he got all those yards. Nate Newton, his left guard, and Darrell the Moose Johnston. They're two of those guys that have blocked for almost every one of those yards that Emmitt Smith got.
Achievement in itself.
Emmitt Smith has 106 yards already. You knew that was one of their goals coming into this game.
Here's Aikman. Lost it downfield, intended for Ernie Mills, incomplete. Yesterday we asked Emmitt Smith about his plans for that ball when he breaks the Cowboy team rushing record, which he just did.
When I was able to achieve the touchdown record with Dan Reeves' signature on that football, I got his signature on it. And hopefully when we achieve this one, I can get TDs on it and put mine right beside it. And that it's going to be a special ball. This is going to be one that I will keep forever.
Yep. If you want to know where it is, Emmitt's right between the towels in that
in the trunk.
In the trunk.
To Dion. And Dion scampers as only he can scamper down to about the 23.
This is the thing that they try and do is get Deion Sanders. You see, he's out there. They have a tandem thing, and they're going to put one deep and one short. Here's Dion. He's the short guy. You see, and he just stops. They run the wide receiver off, and he becomes a blocker, and then he just gets right in behind him. Ernie Mills was in front of him. Ernie Mills was going to come off like he was going to run a pattern and then become a blocker, like on a quick screen, but Dion left it a little short, didn't get that first down.
Richie Cunningham lined up to try his third field goal of the day, made one, missed one, but here's a timeout, Dallas, and they're going to talk it over. There's Emmitt Smith, who just broke the record. A moment of meditation and sitting by that trunk where they put the ball.
Well, you know, he was saying yesterday that, you know, if he does or when he does this, he's going to be thinking about all the people that were part of it. I mean, the people that put in offenses, the coaches, the guys that blocked, and
his family,
everyone. It's not just him. It's not just an individual thing. There's a lot of people that have gone into that.
Richie Cunningham. This one is good as Cunningham puts the Cowboys back ahead by 3. 8:15 left. We're back at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Pat Summerall, John Madden. The Cowboys lead the Giants 6-3. Toby Goen set to kick it off. David Patton and Tiki Barber back deep for the Giants. Patton with the speed. Knuckle kickoff. Bounces over Barber's head, fielded by Patton. Special teams are down in good shape for the Cowboys, and he is taken down at about the 15-yard line.
You know, it's funny, in this game there's been a lot of knuckle stuff. You just call that a knuckle kick. Troy Aikman's been throwing knuckleballs. Danny Cannell's been throwing knuckleballs, and you wonder if it's the footballs or the air, it's the field, or what the heck it is. How about that block right there? That's one that'll clear your sinuses out.
Sherman Williams. Scott Galen put the block on Sherman Williams and Billy Davis. Right there. Got 2 men. Gary Brown. The ball carrier met in the hole by Dexter Coakley.
And I think Jim Fossil right now is going back to, you know, to get the running a little more, you know, to do that thing to kind of slow down things, because they went for a while 2 series ago. They had the ball 3 incomplete passes in a row, and they were only out there for 28 seconds. So I think that, you know, that's not very good for your offense, obviously, but it's worse for your defense because they don't get a chance to stay fresh. And the Giant defense is playing very, very well.
This is Wade. Lowered his head. Omar Stoudemire and Kenny Wheaton took him down. Leon Letts on the sideline getting a little rest.
And this is the thing that they have to do. You know, we talk about the one back in the backfield, and here you can start in here. Now, if there's a hole here, you just keep going. If not, you can just bounce it to the outside. You see, he starts in there, and then he brings the defense in there, and then just bounces it to the outside and picks up a first down.
Brown smothered at the line of scrimmage. There's the defensive coordinator, Dave Campo of the Cowboys, who's done over the years about as good a job as anybody could do.
Yeah, and now, you know, the Cowboys really don't have a dominant defense. They have a couple dominant players, obviously Leon Lett in the defensive line and Deion Sanders as a defensive back. And other than that, there aren't any other dominant players, and that's who he's doing it with.
Cannell back to throw, gets it out the way, makes a one-hand catch. He's taken out of bounds by Darren Woodson and Kevin Smith.
Yeah, that was a great call there because it was a safety blitz. Darren Woodson came up, and he made the 8-man up, and he came on a blitz, and they got rid of that ball, and the penalty is going to be against the Cowboys. But that's a heck of a call when you get the 8-man up, and then the 8th man, who was Darren Woodson, he comes on a blitz, then you get to the outside.
26, defense, first down.
Kevin Smith called for the violation.
Now watch how they pack them in. See, here's the 8 men here. Then you're going to get a blitz here. Now you just get the ball out here quickly on that. See, you pack the whole thing in. See, you just stop it right there. You pack everything to the inside, and then you put the ball to the outside.
What you call the hot receiver. Here's Gary Brown, and he's off. Brown to the Dallas 30 out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Deion Sanders finally took him out of bounds.
And you see what Gary Brown did. He was there, and Deion Sanders got in a race with him, and Gary Brown handed him the ball. But Gary Brown is kind of what the Giants needed. You know, we talk about Charles Way, and we talk about him running at him. Gary Brown is the same type of thing. Watch the speed of Deion Sanders. As the ball's over here, and he sees if I don't come here and get him, I don't know that anyone else is going to get Gary Brown, and he just takes off and flies and gets him. But the Giants are doing a heck of a job of controlling line of scrimmage.
Way straight ahead. That was a 34-yard run by Gary Brown. That's the longest Giant run of the year.
Yeah, and that's the type of thing that they have to get to, because, again, if they can get that, use their offensive line, get the offensive line blocking, just run right at them, calm down the pass rush, keep their defense off the field so their defense can stay fresh. Then their defense has a chance to come up with some big plays for them.
2nd and 7, 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes left to go. Tiki Barber in the backfield with Way. Toomer went in motion, and pass is caught by Patton, who surges to the 19, taken down by Deion Sanders.
And Ron Stone's doing a good job in there. The old, the ex-Cowboy guard. Remember, the Giants got him in a trade, but he's on Leon Lett. They play together. Here's Ron Stone. Here's Leon Lett. And if you're going to get pass protection, you have to stop the penetration right there. You see the job Ron Stone is doing?
Yep.
He does what you call short setting. Boom, he gets on him right now so he doesn't get a chance to get that penetration.
3rd and 3. 2 tight ends for the Giants. Way and Brown behind Cannell. And here's Danny Cannell. Protection's good. The pass is caught. That's Joe Jurevicius, the rookie from Penn State.
Yeah, that's what Jim Fossil was talking about. That's what Danny Cannell was talking about, that clock in his head, not to go too quickly to a dump, but just wait and wait. He waits for Jurevicius to come in motion, come across. Now he's going to be working on Deion Sanders here. He starts to the inside. Now it's a zone. He just keeps working.
Whoa.
Danny Cannell finds the hole. At the same time, Jurevicius finds the hole.
That's pretty good work between quarterback and receiver.
Especially when the receiver's a rookie receiver.
Brown headed outside. Flag on the play. No gain, but a penalty marker down.
One thing with the Cowboys' speed on defense, you can't go east and west. The best runs are going to be when you go at them and stay at them or bounce it out, not when you run east and west. Every time they do that, the Giants have either not gained or they've lost.
This is against the Cowboys.
And so they're going to gain on this one, aren't they?
Yep.
Because they didn't gain any yardage, so whatever the
12
penalty
men
is.
defense.
That,
So first down.
that is one of the toughest defenses in the National
The old
Football
12
League.
man.
Yep, it's what we call the old 4-4-4. Years and years ago, before they had a lot of television and a lot of things, Paul Brown used to sneak a 4-4-4 in on you.
I remember.
Campo tried
On both sides of the ball.
the old 4-4-4 in there.
1st and goal at the 1. The Giants trying to take the lead. Gary Brown is very close. No signal yet.
Gary Brown on the carry.
Yeah, now what the rule is here is the ball. It's about the football. Where the football is, the football has to break the plane of the goal line.
Half yard away.
The way they spotted that didn't even come close to the plane yet.
It looked a lot closer when they were still stacked up. 2nd and goal. There goes Aikman to the locker room. That finger really bothering him, obviously. Cannell, look out. Off the corner. Darren Woodson.
Darren Woodson came on a blitz earlier, and they got that screen out there on him. This time he comes from Danny Cannell's backside. Danny Cannell didn't see him. He's going to come from right here. Watch Woodson. Here he is right here. He was just outside, and they didn't see him. Now watch. Here's Darren Woodson right here. Danny Cannell is play faking to the other side. So he's play faking to the right side, looking to the right side, and whap from the left side. Here comes Darren Woodson.
And Danny Cannell was hurt after he was hit by Darren Woodson. That really stung him.
That's what you call a whiplash.
Whipsaw it or something. Cannell gets it up the middle to Way, and the Cowboys are there. Randall Godfrey was the first one there. We're going to get the 2-minute warning. Dallas 6, the Giants 3. And here comes the field goal team. 6-3, the Cowboys over the Giants. Don't forget, coming up on the Visa halftime report, we'll throw it down to JB and the guys for the first half analysis. Then Joe Buck and Ron Pitts will have the scores and the highlights from around the league, plus our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. All coming up on the Visa halftime report. And right now, the report from Texas Stadium is probably going to be a tie. Daloiso lines up from 23 yards out. And it's 6-6. Jim Fossil has to be satisfied.
I think he should be satisfied with the way that his team is playing so aggressively. And the other thing, Troy Aikman is out of the game, and they took him in. You can see right here, he's going into the locker room for an X-ray of that right finger. Here's where he got it. He was stepping, throwing through. Keith Hamilton hit him just as he threw the ball, and it looked like the thing kept bothering him. You know, and it looked like at first they were talking about the cut, you know, or working on the cut. And now, when you go to an X-ray, you know that they're thinking more than just a cut.
So when the Cowboys get the ball, which they will do in just a moment, Jason Garrett. That's not a player. That's the pregame set, halftime set.
What the guys do, it's cold, so they're all underneath here.
They got the blankets.
Yeah, they're right underneath here. And what they do is they leave the guys under there and just put blankets over.
Well, they got those blankets from my house. They got those blankets from my house. Circle us, John.
Yeah, we'll do anything. Anything they want. Anything you ask for, you got. Their world, we're just living in it.
You're welcome guest. This is Kevin Mathis. And Kevin Mathis finally got knocked out of bounds at midfield. And Jason Garrett.
There's you know, that Daloiso when he kicked the field goal. Look where it ended up.
Right in front of where Terry sits.
Yeah, right there. And then that woke them up because they were underneath the blankets. The guys stay under there and they take naps.
Well, Terry's lost weight, but not that much weight.
No, but he takes a little nap, and then that was their wake-up call. You know, someone knocks on your door. Daloiso kicked the football on their heads.
A minute, 48 seconds left to play. 4 wide receivers and Jason Garrett.
Well, Jason Garrett was a quarterback, you know, the last time that these two teams played this year.
He did a whale of a job. Garrett behind Ernie Mills, but a flag on the play. Deion Sanders in the game as a wide receiver, motioning in the other direction, and that's probably what it's going to be.
Troy Aikman was talking about Ernie Mills yesterday, and he said he's one of the smartest receivers that he's ever known in his life.
Said he so rarely makes a mistake that when he does make a mistake, which is inevitable, it really stands out.
Well, of course, he knows this offense.
Illegal contact. 24. Defense.
First down.
First down.
Carlton Gray is number 24.
But Ernie Mills was with the Pittsburgh Steelers when Chan Gailey was there as the offensive coordinator. And what Chan Gailey likes is he and Billy Davis, Ernie Mills and Billy Davis, trade off. And between them, they make one pretty good receiver on the other side of Michael Irvin.
From the shotgun, Garrett. Deion kept going upfield, and Jason threw it outside.
Yeah, we're talking
about. Hey, it's my fault.
Yeah, we're talking about wristbands. You see Deion's right wrist there. He has his plays on that wrist, and when they put him in, it's 4 wide receivers plus Deion. So the formation is called 2-14, 21 and 4 wide receivers. So he has his own plays, and they're all right there. So it's his alignment and his assignment and his pattern.
He had the wrong play.
He didn't look at it.
No.
I mean, they put it on there in the wrist, and the guy doesn't look at the wrist.
Here's Garrett out of the shotgun.
I would have to say that there's something wrong with the ball today, Pat, because, I mean, Jason Garrett's coming in and throwing ducks.
It's wet.
Danny Cannell has thrown ducks. Troy Aikman has thrown ducks. And the kickers are kicking ducks.
Well, they played a Played a high school game, as we said, Friday night when it was raining. And they put the tarp on top of the wet field, and it just never had a chance to dry out.
Talking about Jason Garrett, this is what he did in the first game. 12 out of 28, 222 yards and a touchdown. But that game was kind of about Deion Sanders, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He licked both hands, both fingers on both hands.
Has to be a pass.
I would think you're right. Screen pass. That's to Michael Irvin. And now the Giants are yelling, call timeout.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play by Felipe Sparks. I mean, when you get out there and you get that screen, and you're Felipe Sparks and you weigh about 180 pounds, and you see there's about 5 guys coming at you, and you can get in between them, snake in between them, and make that play. That's pretty good. Watch him here. He comes up and he bumps. He's playing pass defense. Now he sees it. He comes up and he just kind of sneaks through and makes that tackle. That was a heck of a play.
Coming up on the Visa halftime report, we will throw it down to JB and the guys for the first half analysis. And Joe Buck and Ron Pitts will have scores and highlights from around the league, plus our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. Right now, Toby Goen set to punt it. Amani Toomer back deep for the Giants. He could be dangerous as well. Flag on the play.
Amani Toomer gets a practice catch.
Yep.
False start prior to the snap. Number 59, offense.
Joe
Still fourth
Abasano,
down.
who runs the Dallas Cowboys special teams. But Chan Gailey very much involved in the coaching of the special teams as well. He was a special teams coach himself.
And he was a defensive coach himself, Chan Gailey was. In fact, on Saturday, we were there yesterday, and Chan Gailey runs all the meetings. He runs the offensive meeting, the defensive meeting, and the special teams meeting.
Goen's kick not as good this time. A Toomer lets it bounce, and it gets into the end zone. Got away from Jeff Ogden. Cowboys are saying somebody from the Giant team touched it, but it's a touchback. A flag on the play, however.
Yeah, the flag is way back here in the original line of scrimmage. That's going to be an illegal man downfield. Remember, the only 2 guys that can leave when the ball is snapped on the punt team are the 2 outside guys, or the gunners.
Right.
Everyone else has to wait until the ball's kicked.
Ineligible member of the kicking team downfield. Number 40 is declined. First down.
See, what happens is these 2 guys, they can go. This whole group here has to wait until the ball. They have to wait until the ball's kicked, and there it is right there.
Only problem is they don't have number 40. That was Bill Bates' number. Maybe they're so used to that.
Maybe Bill Bates just did it.
Maybe so. Well, there he is on the sideline. Member of the coaching staff now.
Yeah, well, what they're saying is Bill Bates coached that guy to go.
Yeah. Tiki Barber.
You know, I'm really impressed with the Giants in this first half. I mean, you know, they're playing Giant football. I mean, this isn't going to excite you. There's not going to be a lot of big plays, but they play good defense. They go after you. Everything is solid. They got a running game. You know, they're doing all those kinds of things that won them a division last year that they haven't been doing this year.
Barber gets the carry.
I would think that the Cowboys would take a timeout now. In fact, that's probably the Cowboys' timeout.
There it is, the Dallas timeout. They have 1 left.
Yeah, here was a big play. Once the Giants got down there, they went play pass. You see what Danny Cannell did? He faked that play pass to the right, and he went down kind of like a Boomer Esiason fake. He went down, and it would have worked well on the side of the play fake, but Darren Woodson was coming from the other side.
Later today, Michelle Kwan, Todd Eldridge, and some of the world's best skaters meet in the culmination of skating's hottest event. Don't miss the first Union Grand Slam of skating today following football at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, only on Fox. Check your local listings for the start time in your area.
What the Cowboys are trying to do is stop him here and make him punt one more time this half to Deion Sanders.
All right.
Barber trying for the first down, running hard. He might have gotten it.
Yeah, that's a big play. I mean, you know, you look in the stats and you think that's not going to be, but now that gives the Giants a first down so they can run out this half and not have to give the ball to Deion Sanders again.
A very wise thing to do. Let's just run it out.
Well, there are little things that add up to big things in a game that really equal smart football.
And that doesn't seem like much, as you just said. But that could turn out to be one of the turning points in this game, that first down right there.
Yeah, and that's the type of thing and the way that the Giants, you know, have to play. This is the kind of football that they have to play. They've been doing a good job on defense. They have a good special team. And then if they can keep their running game going just enough to rest that defense so they can be effective, they can be in this game.
Emmitt Smith, who just set the all-time Cowboy rushing record, breaking that held by Tony Dorsett. Who would have expected this score at the half, 6-6? I thought it would be low scoring.
Yeah, I think when the Giants are playing well, it's going to be a low-scoring game. And then when you have the quarterback, when Troy Aikman gets hurt and is out of the game, then you can expect it again. And then, to me, it looks like to me in this first half that everyone, all the ball handlers, have had trouble handling the ball.
Yeah, as we've said many times already, the field's wet. Got wet on Friday night and didn't have a chance to dry. There's Troy headed up for x-rays, so obviously, and we'll try to find out, it must be more than just a slight cut on his hand. 6-6, Giants down.
Tonight. The Visa halftime winner. I'm Joe Buck along with Ron Pitts. The game that some of you are watching, the big one down in Big D. The Giants and Cowboys tied 6-6 at the half. Emmitt Smith already over 100 yards. Troy Aikman has a deep gash on his right index finger. And look, it's Jesse the Bunny Ventura.
Yeah, he came just in time to watch Randall Cunningham get his right ankle rolled on. Ouch. Makes the decision easy for Dennis Green. Grant Johnson get in. He gets in, does well. Hits Chris Carter, 14-yard touchdown pass. Minnesota rolling all over the Saints.
Up by 10 late in the second quarter. Chris Carter now the Vikings all-time touchdown leader. As we move to Atlanta and New England, the two head coaches talking it over, and Ron Pitts, all Atlanta so far.
First quarter, Drew Bledsoe sacked, fumbles. Atlanta recovers. They make something out of it, too. Chandler to O.J. Santiago, 7-yard TD. Atlanta 14-0. Second quarter, Jamal Anderson. Here come those big thighs, Joe. Look out. 10-yard TD. Makes it look so easy. His second touchdown for the day.
That's not the first time I've heard that, by the way, Ron. Falcons leading 28-3. They are late in the second quarter up in New England. The Chicago Bears, Steve Stenstrom getting his first NFL start.
Yeah, Stenstrom finds Curtis Conway in the end zone for a 4-yard touchdown. Stenstrom 5 for 5 on his first drive. Chicago up by 7 early. Then Tony Banks fires a bullet. Finds Ricky Prohl, 3-yard score. They're knotted up. Now 14-7 the Rams.
More scores for you. Detroit at Philadelphia. As we check that score, they are at the half. Eagles leading 7-3. Two teams struggling there. Nobody struggling with the Jacksonville Jaguars up 24-0 late in the second quarter at home over Cincinnati. The Dolphins out in front big at home over Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts. The Oakland Raiders trailing at Baltimore. A touchdown off an interception return for Baltimore and the lead.
This week's You Call It. Which team, the Giants or the Cowboys, will have the most total points, total yards, I beg your pardon, total yards in the second half of today's game? So join us on the internet. Log on to foxsports.com. And good luck to you. As you can see, Troy Aikman is back on the sideline. When last we saw him, he was headed for the locker room to get x-rays. There is no break in his finger. It was just skinned on top, and it's very painful. We don't know how he'll be able to throw or not.
Well, what they did is they talked about there was no fracture, there's no ligament damage, but you know, he still does have a sore finger, you know, on his first finger on his throwing hand, and I think that's the thing that's going to be the key. the Cowboys in the first half only have 33 yards passing. And you can see that even though it's just a cut, even though it's not broken or fractured or ligament damage, it is bothering Troy Aikman, and he is having a tough time throwing the ball.
And he's just going to take a look at what he can do in the second half. If he can't perform, if he can't do what he expects to.
And it's just one of those things, when it is on your throwing hand, it's the hand that also takes the snap, and you have constant reminders.
That's David Patton taking the second half kickoff. Right now, let's send you down to Susie Colbert.
Pat, I talked to Jim Fossil, asked him if he was satisfied if the Giants are playing like this is a must-win game. He said absolutely, they're playing very hard. He was very happy with the way they were playing, but of course they have a whole nother half to go. And as for both quarterbacks maybe struggling a bit with the ball, I asked Danny Cannell if the ball was slippery. He said yes, very slippery. It's very hard to throw. Back to you.
Thanks, Susie, and it is very wet. The field is very wet, although it's not raining at the moment. Here's Cannell, gives off to Gary Brown, and Brown out to about the Giant 30. Score tied 6-6 as we're in the opening seconds of the second half.
Well, you know, Susie was talking about how Jim Fossil wanted his team to play like it's a championship game. I mean, he feels if they don't beat the Cowboys today, they're really not going to be in a division championship race. And he wanted that sense of urgency from all the areas, and I have the feeling, and he has the feeling, that he's getting it.
That's Brown again, up shy of the 30, about 2 shy of a first down. You know, they keep talking about the slippery ball, and the field's been wet, is wet, got wet on Friday night. They covered it, never had a chance to get dry. But the ball itself shouldn't be wet.
No, that's the thing that I was bringing up, that I don't know how, unless the center, when he gets over the ball, pushes the ball down into the carpet, and then the water comes up on the ball. But the ball, there's no reason that the ball should be wet. But for some reason, like Danny Cannell said, the ball is slippery, and it looks like it's slippery.
Well, aren't they supposed to, if the balls are wet like this, aren't they supposed to have backup sacks of balls on both sides?
Yeah, they do. They have 36 balls, 36 footballs for every game. They use 18 brand new balls for the first half, 18 brand new balls for the second half. So if these balls are slippery, I think it's because they're brand new balls rather than wet, because I don't see anywhere where that ball is wet or getting wet.
I wonder if the center's going to turn it over now.
Well, that'll be interesting if the center turns it over like he does, but now when he pushes it down, does it get wet?
Yeah. Brown in an attempt to get the first down, and he's very close.
And this is the big thing, I think, for the Giants is you see they get in that 3rd and 1 or 2 where they can pick up these 3rd down conversions, and you know where they don't have that 3rd and long.
So they'll move the sticks. 1st and 10 Giants, opening seconds of quarter number 3. The score tied at 6.
Just like a kind of a run scrimmage. You don't have the feeling that either team is going to open up or really wants to open it up.
Here's Cannell on a roll, and taken down from behind by Kavika Pittman.
That's what speed does. You know, Kavika Pittman isn't a great defensive end. He's not a great pass rusher, but he can do this. He can run. And you see the bootleg here. Now watch Kavika Pittman here. He just runs right down the line of scrimmage, and he intersects Danny Cannell. That's the thing. When a defensive lineman can run, he's not going to be fooled by this. That's the old bootleg. Remember where you would fake and then put the ball on your hip, and then you would bootleg it around the end? That's what Cannell did, but it didn't fool Kavika Pittman.
3 wide receivers. Charles Way got to carry and didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a couple.
I think the Giants were trying to, go pass on 1st down and then come back and run on 2nd down. And again, I think this whole thing is really to stay out of the situation that they just gotten themselves into, and that's that 3rd and long, because this, again, is not where they play their best football offensively.
3rd and 9. Tiki Barber in the backfield. Cannell from the shotgun. Cowboys on a blitz. Wide open is Amani Toomer. And a flag on the play.
Yeah, Monty Toomer, he was out there, and you know that any time that they throw one or going to try and get a first down, they're going to throw it on Kevin Smith. Now someone pushed off here. Was it offense or defense? The Giants are saying it was defense.
Illegal contact. 26. Defense is declined. First down.
Like these Cowboy fans, I think, are starting to boo Kevin Smith because anytime they're going to work, this is where they're going to work. You see, now he can hit him in the first 5 yards. After 5 yards right there, he can't touch him. And you see what Kevin Smith did? He hit him after he was 5 yards downfield. And then for some reason, at the end, Kevin Smith is running backwards and letting the guys catch in front of him.
First down, this is Gary Brown, and another flag. That one's probably going to be against the Giants.
That's in the area of offensive holding. Anytime the umpire throws one like he did, the umpire is the guy behind the defensive line, and when he throws a ball right in the middle of the line, it's offensive holding.
Holding 78. Offense. Still first down.
78 is Greg Bishop.
78 is Greg Bishop. Like you said, he's the left guard, and he's working on Leon Lett. You see Leon Lett gets his arm in there. I don't know, unless it's his left arm that he hooked Leon Lett. I'm not sure about that, because if that guy throws his arm there, I've always argued you have to be able to clamp down on it. So I don't think what Greg Bishop did initially is wrong.
Three wide receivers, Charles Way looking to the outside, and not much there, nothing there. You pointed out there's a good example of the speed that the Cowboys have on defense. They were there in a hurry.
You know, and the other thing, Leon Lett, and some of the positions that he gets himself into, he was saying yesterday, and it's a real interesting thing. He said he learned from Charles Haley that the best pass rush positions are uncomfortable positions. If you're in an uncomfortable position, your body is in an uncomfortable position, you're in a good position to run some passer. If you're in a comfortable body position, you're not in a good pass rush position.
That sounds like it would apply to a good golf swing. Here's Cannell, and he gets it downfield, complete to Callaway, who fumbles, and it's picked up by Kenny Wheaton. And the Cowboys recover.
Oh, Danny Cannell did his job. The offensive line did his job. Callaway initially did, again, working on Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith gives the cushion. You can see the ball come in here to Callaway. Kevin Smith comes up. He gets beaten again, but he makes a big play by knocking the ball out there.
All right, captains, we're going to have a coin toss now. If there's a team, we'll call it in the air. We want a good, clean game. We're all professionals here. Does anyone have change for $1?
What? Want to get away? Now you can with South.
Pat Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium in Irving. It's 6-6, the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. First and 10, Dallas at their own 34. And here's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt outside the 40 with that second effort. Got about 6 yards.
You know, we were talking about Troy Aikman and having to throw the ball in the touch, but and how you're always reminded of it. Watch this. You see his right hand is up underneath. His right hand has to take the brunt of the snap. You see the ball as it is snapped right there, so he's going to take a hit on that finger every snap he takes.
Of course, that's the ball then he had to hand off with, or does hand off with, to Emmitt Smith. Second and 3. Giants show blitz. Smith shows him outside. And Emmitt a yard short of a first.
You know, one thing I think that Chan Gailey brought to this team is having Emmitt Smith run more outside. You remember for years when he was gaining all those yards, it was always to the inside. And if you look now, you know, he has pretty good mixture of running inside and outside. Look, he's gone 3 times outside to the left for 45 yards, 2 outside to the right for 34 yards, and 9 inside for 36 yards. So he's run inside more, but he's made more yardage outside to the right and to the left.
He gets another try. He doesn't get enough on this one to get a first down. hit and knocked back as he tried to go over the top.
Yeah, there was Corey Whitmer, the middle linebacker, in there, and they haven't gotten a lot of movement on this defensive line. I'll say all day that these Giants have been winning this battle. Now, if you can win this battle at the line of scrimmage, then you can let your linebackers come over the top. You see they win, and now here comes Corey Whitmer, and he gets just enough penetration so there's no cutback. You see, you win at the line of scrimmage, get penetration for your linebackers so they can't cut back, then they have to run right into where you won that battle.
So Toby going, his third punt of the day. This is a good one. Takes it, and he is down at about the 14-yard line by Charlie Williams. 6-6 at Texas Stadium. 8:12 left in the third. 6-6 tie. Tonight, after an all-new World's Funniest, it's the star-studded all-new Simpsons, followed by the funniest That 70s show of the season. Then it's television's biggest event, the X-Files season premiere. All starts tonight at 7, 6 Central here on Fox. The Giants hand the ball to Charles Way, and Chad Hennings chases him down. Flag on the play.
Yeah, and of course it all started with the Leon Lett again getting penetration. That's what we talked about earlier, controlling the line of scrimmage. If the offense wins, you keep the defense on their side. If the defense wins, they get on the offensive side. Leon Lett was on the offensive side in that play, and that play didn't have a chance.
Holding 78, offense, still first down.
That's Greg Bishop again.
Right.
That's his second holding penalty in as many series here.
Troy's got his finger on ice. Waving ice. Giants backed up down to their own 8-yard line. Cannell will throw it from there, looking. Got hit just as he let it go, and the ball flew out of bounds. George Teague was over closest to him. Callaway, the intended receiver.
And this is the area that I would expect Jim Fossil right now to come back with a conservative play, because this whole game has been about field position.
Yep.
And when you get here, you don't want to give up anything. You don't want to do anything stupid in this area, because their defense did a heck of a job. I mean, they got up here and they had a turnover when Callaway fumbled the ball. Their defense stopped and made the Cowboys punt. But now you don't want to give them a turnover in this area.
Second and long. There's exactly what you said. Gary Brown, he is wrapped up at about the 10, 11-yard line. They'll bring up third and long.
And this is the type of thing that we were talking about. When you run it like this, east and west, and you start off in a sweep, that is not the type of play that is going to go against the Cowboy defense, because they're so quick. I mean, they get so many guys flowing, and as you go, they will go east and west as quickly as you will.
Third and 14.
This is an interesting call here. In fact, they're going to take a timeout and talk about it because the clock was running down. But do you go for a play, or do you still stay conservative?
I think you stay conservative, but they'll have time to think about it. Get a little impatient with both teams for the conservative style that's going on.
Yeah, and what they're doing now is they want the Cowboys to stop them here, so the Giants are going to have to punt the ball to Deion Sanders, and it'll be hard from this position on the field to punt it out of bounds.
Here's a blitz coming. Cannell across the middle, incomplete, or maybe... No, it was incomplete. Incomplete.
And that's what, excuse me, Pat, I was just going to say, that's what the fans wanted, because that's what they're rooting for, to stop them here. So now they're going to have to punt from this position. In fact, the punter's going to have to punt this ball out of the end zone. And when you punt from this position here, where they're not, there's no way he can punt this ball out of bounds.
Why take a chance and throw it in the middle if you're not going to throw it for a first down? I've always wondered about that.
Good point by you.
Brad Maynard. Directional kick away from Deion, but it's right in the middle of the field, or not quite in the middle, but he's got a chance. And there he goes. And there's a flag on the play back at midfield as Sanders gets all the way down, and flags come flying everywhere.
There's 3 flags.
Yep.
3 flags. There's one right here. There's another one out there, and there's another one over in the sideline. These have to be against the Cowboys. In fact, Deion Sanders was saying a couple weeks ago, he said, you know, sometimes when I get the ball, I wish all my guys would just fall down. Like Chan Gailey said, that the worst thing we can do when they punt the ball to Deion Sanders is have anyone get a penalty.
Chan said just get on somebody and stay on them.
And sometimes if it was Deion Sanders, you're better if it's close not to get on someone. Just let him go and let him beat him.
We have 2 fouls after the change of possession. During the run back, number 31 of Dallas, illegal block in the back. During the return, number 34 of the kicking team, face mask. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of Dallas's foul. First down, Dallas.
George Teague is number 31. There's the block right there.
And there's the block in the back right there. And so then the ball is going to be put at that point. There's Brandon Sanders right there with the face mask.
6-6.
By Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By the new Dodge, it's about change. By Circuit City, answers in every department, low prices all over the store. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
6-6, the Giants and Cowboys. Troy Aikman with the injured finger.
This is a pretty good spot to take a shot. First down, good field position.
Outside Emmitt Smith. All he can do is look at the Giant defenders facing him, and Marcus Buckley led the pack, but Emmitt still got about 4 yards.
And I think that the Cowboys somewhere have to stretch his defense a little. I mean, Aikman is 6 out of 12 now for about 35 yards or so, which for him or for any top quarterback is really nothing. And I think what happens is they're running so much and they're so successful that this Giant defense is tightening up on them. And I think that they got to throw a deep one just to get them back off and to loosen them up a little.
2nd and 6. 6 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Ernie Mills on the move, and now he comes out of the backfield, and again Aikman fires outside to Emmitt Smith. And he's going to be a couple of yards short of the first down.
You know, and they're doing that. That's good coverage by the Giants, because Aikman is trying to get the ball down the field, and on both of these he's had to dump off. You see, one, because it's good coverage downfield, plus it's a little pressure. You see the little pressure right there, and that time clock that these quarterbacks have in their head, that went off, and he knew, I don't have any time to wait for someone to get open downfield. I better get rid of the ball. And the Giant defense made him do that twice in a row.
Emmitt's 400th reception of his career. He's got all kind of milestones going on today. Aikman. He's got Mills deep, and Mills has it.
That's the one that I thought that they had to do, and that was a double move by Ernie Mills.
Yep.
That's what you call an out and up. And he was working over there, and he starts on the out. Conrad Hamilton's the corner. Watch him, he's going to come up. Now he's going to make this little move out. You see, just a little move, and then he gets Hamilton to come up thinking that's a move, and then he goes right by him. Those are the things that Ernie Mills can do. He got deep, not with great speed, but by selling Conrad Hamilton that he was going to go short. And then Hamilton came up, and then as he came up, boom, he runs right by him.
And he did very well to hold on to that ball, because Conrad Hamilton had his arm in there.
Right, and Troy Aikman was excited on that one because he knew that he had to loosen that defense up.
Tito Wooten, injured on the last play, just stepped over to the Giants sideline. It's 1st and goal at the 5 for the Cowboys. And it's time for Emmitt Smith, I would think. Emmitt cuts it back and doesn't get back to the 5, but there's a flag on the play.
You know, Emmitt Smith in all-time touchdowns is 5th. He has 124. Walter Payton has 125. So if he scores a touchdown here or anywhere in this game, he will tie Walter Payton. That's pretty good company.
Yes, it is.
And then Jim Brown is only 2 ahead with 126.
89, offense.
Holding
Still
call
first
against
down.
David LaFleur, the tight end.
Here's a list right here. We see where Emmitt Smith is here at 124. One more, he ties Walter Payton. 2 more. He ties Jim Brown, and then he has a little gap in there to Marcus Allen.
Then some work to do to catch Marcus Allen. And Jerry Rice, of course, is still adding to his total.
I mean, that list, those are great. They're all-time great players.
Emmitt gets another carry, gets to the outside, and Emmitt Smith cuts inside the 5 and down to about the 4. About the 5 make it. Up the penalty yard.
That's an interesting play. We talk about how they use Ernie Mills. He caught a big pass, and then they use him as a blocker to get him in a counter. Here's Ernie Mills here. He ends up in the backfield. Then he comes and leads on a counter, makes a little block there. It is a block that sprung Emmitt Smith. But that's his Chan Gailey offense. He uses his wide receivers as blockers.
Second and goal at the 5. Again in motion. Emmitt coming left or straight ahead, and he's hit and knocked backwards, hit hard. After he got about a half yard. Hit very hard.
Right, that's the way you want to meet him. I mean, any defensive player wants to meet a running back square in the hole. And watch this. This is exactly what happened. Watch him. He starts in here, and then he just gets met right there squarely.
Strahan was first to arrive on the scene, number 92.
Right, here's Strahan right here. I mean, he comes down. He's the guy that got him from the side. I think it was Corey Whitmer that got him from the front.
It looked like a Whitmer hit. 3rd and 4. 3rd and goal at the 4.
Jesse!
Here's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt hammers to about the 2. They'll make it 4th and goal.
Scott Gallion was in there that time, and he missed first. Then Jesse Armstead came in. But Scott Gallion, he's going to be playing in here. He's going to miss the tackle right there. So he could have had him there. Emmitt made him miss there. Then Jesse Armstead comes in and makes the tackle.
So Richie Cunningham comes on with Eric Bjornsson to hold.
I think that was a little too conservative for the Cowboys. I know that they like to run the ball down there, but after you run it once or twice, I think you take a passing shot in the end zone.
The 20. And the Cowboys again lead by 3, 9-6. Nothing but field goals this afternoon at Texas Stadium. That's Nate Newton, who, as John said, got a concussion last Monday night. Obviously recovered.
He's mad at someone about something, and I know what it is. Nate Newton is one of those offensive linemen, like all offensive linemen, that love to run the ball. And when they give you the shot to run the ball and you don't get it in the end zone, then you ought to be upset with yourself and your teammate.
This is Tiki Barber, who takes the line drive kickoff and is tackled, and a flag on the play. Tackled by George Teague.
Now, this is the thing that we say every week, but it seems like almost every coverage, every kick coverage, whether it's a punt or a kickoff, we're seeing a flag.
Yep.
And the other thing that I've noticed is the coverage isn't as good. The tackling's not as good, and I don't know if that's salary cap or whatever.
Block, when the return.
Well, don't you think it is?
91. First down.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean,
yeah,
I think that special teams guys that are cover guys are getting to be an afterthought. I think the teams aren't putting that in there anymore
because the money is tied up in the so-called star players.
Yeah, right. There's the block in the back right there, and that's under a heading of dumb penalties. You put your list. That would be the number one you'd put right there. There's no reason for that.
I guess there would be a place somewhere, sometime, for intelligent penalties. The pass is incomplete. Ike Hilliard had it and dropped it. Guy will catch this one.
Danny Cannell's had some tough breaks. Here we see Ike Hilliard again. They're just working on Kevin Smith, and anytime they run an out or something underneath, they're wide open, and then they just have to hold on to the ball. I mean, he has the ball here. This is close to a fumble because he came close to controlling it. It wasn't a fumble, but remember Callaway had one like that and did fumble it again on Kevin Smith.
Jerry Brown, he's off to the races again. Brown pushed out of bounds close to midfield.
Good block by Ron Stone at the point of attack. This is the thing, the line can get him started. Watch Ron Stone. He's a right guard. He's going to get a block here. That'll be the point of attack. Now the line can get him started. They can get him that first 5 yards. See that block right there by Stone? That's what got him through the hole. And then you get the corner come outside, and then Gary Brown just jumps outside of him.
38-yard run by Gary Brown.
Ron Stone got it all started.
Here's Cannell again, handing off this time to Tiki Barber, and he gets pretty good yardage. Brown 15 carries, 119 yards.
Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones spending a lot of time down on that Cowboy sideline and early. I know why he went down there the first time. That was when Troy Aikman, well, yeah, it was for Emmitt, and then when Troy Aikman got hurt, he thinks that he may be able to help that finger out a little, maybe. Like to help this defense out a little now. The Giants are taking it to him.
There comes somebody who wants to make a tackle. That's it. Omar Stoudemire came flying up, and right now for an NFL update, let's return to Joe Buck in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat, in Minnesota, it's a 7-point Viking lead until Robert Smith rolls 61 yards with a Chris Carter convoy. It's a 24-10 Minnesota lead. So many weapons, so many big play guys. No wonder they're 7-1. Back to Dallas and Pat and Joe.
9-6 at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys leading by 3 as we get down close to the end of the third quarter. 3rd and 8.
We're talking about wide receivers blocking on big plays and runs. The Minnesota does.
Cannell. Incomplete. And now that is good coverage by Kevin Smith. People are after him.
Yeah, Amani Toomer, though, if you're going to run enough, you can't be that close to the sideline. I mean, that was his fault. He gets too close to the sideline. Now, the only place that Danny Cannell can do is throw it short or throw it out of bounds. You see, when you're up that close to the sideline, you don't have any width to the outside. You have to run that thing between the numbers and the sideline. You can never run it up against the sideline.
Even if he had been able to make that catch, he would have been out of bounds.
Right, and there's no place. You don't leave any place for your quarterback to throw. Danny Cannell's playing pretty well.
Yes,
He's not getting a lot of help from his wide receivers.
Brad Maynard. Flag on the play. Might have taken too much time to get it snapped. 14 seconds left. Too much time.
Brad Maynard got a practice kick, and Deion Sanders got a practice catch. And Deion Sanders flung that ball back there pretty good. Now he's dancing. Deion Sanders in high school was a quarterback. Remember that? Yeah.
Yep.
Offense. Still 4th down.
Some people say in the 90s he's the best athlete of the 90s. They'll argue that Ron Wolf of the Packers is one of them. Will say that he's a better athlete than Michael Jordan because of what he does in football and what he did in baseball.
I think he has an argument. I'm not sure I would argue with it. Signals fair catch and makes it at the 15.
I think the Cowboys have to go back now, and try and get a couple of first downs here and then loosen it up again the way they did with Ernie Mills, when he made that double move out there, and because the Giants defense is really playing well, and I think the more they run, the more the Giants defense plays the run.
And they have to get a little, I don't know why the defense always is the one to get exhausted, but they have to be getting a little tired. First down. Aikman taking that shot downfield. Incomplete, no flag. Intended for Billy Davis. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score of the Cowboys 9, the Giants 6, and Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. The Cowboys leading, and they have the ball 2nd and 10.
There's Chad Bransky. He's trying to work on some moves that he can get on Larry Allen. I don't know that there are any because he's out here, and that's kind of an all-day sucker when you're playing against number 73.
Davis in motion. Aikman back to throw it. Outside to Darrell Johnston.
Well, the old Moose doesn't get a lot of them, and the fans don't get it. Unless they watch his blocks, they don't get a lot for that Moose call, because his number one thing, as Chan Gailey will say, is to be a blocker. His number two is a receiver, and not much of that.
Yep.
And then the third thing is every once in a while, like once a month, we'll give him the ball. Here, see, he starts in a play fake, and again, he just comes off in the flat, but he was the outlet. He wasn't the main receiver in the progression. He would have been the third guy in that progression, that pass pattern.
4 wide receivers, they need 5. To Deion Sanders, they get the 5 and a first down.
That's the old basketball thing. As you said, no one in the backfield. They had 4 receivers on the other side. Deion back on this side and let him go 1-to-1. You see, all the receivers are here. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Here's Deion back on this side. So they figured, okay, let's get everyone over there, and then we'll get one-on-one with Felipe Sparks back here, and Deion, just let him use his quickness, and then he should have a big part of the field to get the first down.
Which he got. And Emmitt Smith gets the carry. Emmitt gets up past the 35, about the 36. Picked up a few.
You know, I've always been amazed by Moose Johnston, how, you know, for 10 years he can do this, how he's had neck surgery, and all he is a battering ram. I mean, maybe not so much now because they run outside more, but for all those years he's gone in there and done the grunt work and done the tough blocks, and he does it year after year after year.
You know what amazes me about it is that he usually, almost always, picks the right guy to block.
And then after he picks him, he does something about it.
Aikman gets it to LaFleur, and that's enough for a first down for Dallas.
You know, Chad Bratsky is over there, and he's in a fight with Larry Allen, but it's really tough. I mean, you know, they talk about who's the best tackle, top 3 or 4. To me, this guy is the best offensive lineman, period, in football. And watch, Chad Bratsky's trying to come from the outside, but Larry Allen is just so strong, so powerful. When he gets his hands on you, there's nothing you can do. I mean, he bench presses, listen to this, he bench pressed 600 pounds. I've never heard anyone doing that.
Me either.
And then he just puts those hands on Bratsky, and it's like a 600-pound bench press.
Aikman drops again. Texans gotten better. Aikman hits Billy Davis, and Billy Davis takes a hit, but signals first down. Ooh, he took a wallop.
He really did, but that's what you have to do. You know that you're going to get it anyway when the quarterback leads you in there. That's that pattern that the Cowboys call a skinny post. And once he got that skinny post and he looked up, there was Ellsworth right there on him.
First down, Cowboys. They move to the Giant 35. That defense of the Giants has been out there a long time.
I don't think he saw Percy Ellsworth, but he knew that there was going to be someone there, and he had to hold on to it.
Here's Emmitt again. And he surges to about a yard to 34. Listen to the hit on Billy Davis.
Yeah, he gets inside Felipe Sparks. Percy Ellsworth put on him what you call a knockout punch, but it didn't knock out Billy Davis. One of the secrets to Billy Davis is, you know, not being able to take a knockout punch is his hair. He has his hair bleached.
That's the secret.
And I was talking to him Friday about it. He calls it platinum. The color.
That's not platinum.
No, he says it's platinum. He asked for platinum. His hair to be platinum.
Here's Emmitt again. Surges to the 28.
You know, one of the things the Cowboys are doing that I have come more to believe in every week is that you have to loosen up the defense in order to run. It used to be all the time and say you have to be able to run the ball and then, you know, to throw it. I think sometimes you have to loosen them up to throw it and then run it. Watch Larry Allen out here on Chad Bratsky. I mean, Bratsky's given him everything he has, but Larry Allen is just too strong for him.
Yeah, it's too big a package.
I mean, you can fight that guy all day, but you're not going to get through him nor around him.
Aikman out of the shotgun. The protection breaks down, and what a catch by Ernie Mills. What a grab by Ernie Mills.
Oh, Ernie Mills is saying it's a touchdown. They're not going to give it to him, though.
Well, what a catch. I don't care if it's a touchdown or not. That's some effort.
And this is what Chan Gailey brought Ernie Mills here for. Ernie Mills is right here. And you watch him. He's just going right through the zone. And Troy Aikman makes a perfect pass. So, I mean, he had a deep guy and a short guy. And he throws it right between them. And now, did the ball break the plane before his knee goes down? His knee's down. Nope, it's not. That's not a touchdown. Although no one did touch it.
No, that's right. You're supposed to be down as a result of contact, and there was no contact.
And that had to be a touchdown.
It had to be, but it's not.
And by Intel, makers of the amazing Pentium 2 processor.
9-6, the Cowboys lead at Texas Stadium. First and goal at the 1.
Troy Aikman was reading the play on his wrist as he went up to the line of scrimmage.
There's Emmitt Smith. This one won't score. In fact, he lost a couple.
But what a throw and what a catch by Ernie Mills.
Yeah.
I mean, that throw, getting it in there was an amazing throw, but that catch that Ernie Mills made was something special.
Unbelievable.
We come in the run, and you see the Giants again have good pursuit. And we talk about it's hard to run outside on the Cowboy defense because of their speed. It's also tough to run a sweep, wide. You can take inside and then bounce out, but it's tough to go east and west against the Giants.
And down in this area, certainly. The pass intended for Bjornsson, who makes it. Juggled it momentarily, but touchdown. Aikman to Bjornsson.
Well, I'm saying that Troy Aikman's finger's getting better. We talked about that throw that he makes to Ernie Mills that gets him down there, and then he throws a touchdown. And that just was a full play. I mean, that fooled them. They go to play pass, and they know that when you see Emmitt Smith back here, everyone is playing run. So you fake the run, you bring Bjornsson around all the way from the right side. You see that? He lined up in the right, came all the way across the back of the backfield and out the other end.
He'll hold for the extra point. Richie Cunningham is good with the extra point, and the Cowboys move a little further ahead.
Again, play fake to this side. Now here's Bjornsson right here. He comes all the way across and sneaks out here. So they play fake to the right. Now watch how this play fake holds the line, everyone. And watch how Bjornsson over that left side, he just sneaked right through. In fact, he sneaked between his guard, Nate Newton, and the line of scrimmage. That's a tough sneak.
6-6. David Patton fields it. Chased and brought down back at about the 10-yard line by Izell Reese. And the Giants will start to operate from deep in their own territory. 16-6. Giant ball at their own 10. Cannell back to throw. Pass caught by Ike Hilliard, who gets out of bounds, stops the clock. 8:28 left.
Well, you don't know who they're going to throw it to, but you know who they're going to throw it against. And again, they just kept working this thing all day. In fact, it's a double coverage now. Now, Kevin Smith, when you have a guy like Darren Woodson inside you, you don't have to go for the inside move. You stay outside. That's why they put Darren Woodson over there to help you.
3 wide receivers, 2 of them to the left this time. Cannell looking right. And the pass is out of bounds, incomplete.
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Amani Toomer, he's running that up, and he didn't give any room to the sideline. So now if you watch him go up the sideline, there's only one place they can throw. You can't be line up that wide, then take an outside release. Now, the only place that Danny Cannell can throw the ball and complete it is out of bounds. So you can't get this close. You got to run. You got to be out in this area so the quarterback can throw over here. There's no way that you can run that pattern up the sideline.
2nd and 10. Brings it out to Charles Way, and Emmitt Smith is up to hit Charles Way as soon as he makes the catch.
Emmitt Smith's upset.
Yeah. Minnesota 24-17 in the fourth over New Orleans. Atlanta beating New England badly. And Atlanta, you know, people keep saying, are they for real? I guess they are.
Yeah, and you know they're tied with the 49ers in that division, and then the 49ers are now playing today without Steve Young.
Yeah. Third
playing Carolina.
3rd and 9. Here's Cannell. And again, he looks in the right direction over the middle. Pass complete to Callaway. Chris Callaway at midfield or close to it.
And that was on Deion Sanders. You know, if there is anything that you can get on Deion Sanders, it's an in pattern. Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to be able to block. Now, the offensive line has given Danny Cannell plenty of time there.
Yeah.
And now you see here, if there's anything that people can run on, is just keep coming across the field on Deion Sanders. Because at some point, he usually slows up.
Cannell again, incomplete, no flag. Howard across the intended receiver, Coakley.
I think that's the first pass that they've thrown to Howard Cross today. And we were talking earlier about how Jim Fossil feels that if he's going to have a complete offense, he feels good about his wide receivers, but he feels that he needs a pass receiving tight end. I still think he needs a wide receiver that scares you, because there's no one on this giant offense that scares you.
Speed. 2nd and 10. Cannell back to throw it. Now this time he is down, sacked. Leon Lett, Greg Ellis. Not Leon Lett. Greg Ellis was first there.
Greg Ellis was there, the rookie, and then Leon Lett also, and that's the thing. I mean, Danny Cannell has to throw the ball so they know, and the way this thing started, it was kind of ugly. I mean, there's confusion. Strickland's falling down. Substitutions not right, but they finally got it right, and then they got the pass rush there.
So it was Lett and Ellis.
Yeah, Leon Lett was the guy that really got the penetration that Cannell felt first.
They showed blitz, early blitz, and here it comes to Cannell, and the pass is short and incomplete. David Patton, the intended receiver, covered by Deion Sanders.
I'll tell you, and Danny Cannell really got it there. He gets it from the back, and then he gets it from the linebacker. Dexter Coakley is the guy that's going to finish him off. Watch him come from this side. He's on what we call a spy, and then when the back blocks, Coakley takes off. He really had a shot there at Cannell. It could have been a bigger shot on him than it was.
Randall Godfrey came from the other side. Brad Maynard back to punt it. 16-6 Dallas.
Deion Sanders won't return this punt. Deion Sanders looks like he's dead tired, doesn't he?
Maybe that's a decoy. No. Maynard, good kick. That ball bounces. And now see where it's lined up at the 6. Yeah, that's where the Cowboys start from. 6-yard line. Leading 16-6. Back at Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall, John Madden, 16-6. The Cowboys lead the Giants. 1 touchdown in this game. Mike, bet by Eric Bjornsson.
I was just going to say Mike Kieslak is in at center now for the Cowboys. He was Doug Flutie's center in Canada. That's his claim to fame. What a story Doug Flutie is.
Emmitt Smith, the ball carrier, gets outside the 10 with a struggle. And right now for an NFL update, let's return again to Joe Buck in Los Angeles.
All right, thank you, Pat. Vikings up by 7 at the New Orleans 5 until this. Sammy Knight, say goodnight. 91 yards back the other way. The interception returned for the touchdown. It's a 24-24 game early in the fourth quarter. Back to Dallas, Pat and John.
Nate Newton shaken up on the last play.
Well, you know, we talked about last week. He got knocked out and had to come out of the game. Here he is here, the left guard. You see, he's just blocking there. Everything looks okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just fell down and had a hard time getting up.
That could be. I could understand that.
He looks okay.
Limping down the sideline. But
last week he was telling me he got knocked out, went off on the sideline, and he was supposed to pull. And the coach said, "What do you do on 39?" And he goes, "Wait." He said, "I don't know about 39." He said, "Go over the whole offense with me." And he said, the coach said, "Go sit down." Then he sat down where the quarterbacks said, and he said he couldn't stop crying. He said he just sat there and cried the whole rest of the game.
So Shiver comes in, and Keith Light moves over to guard. They get to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt tried to cut it back to the outside, got to about the 10, and here comes Nate back.
So whatever was wrong with Nate, he waddled back in again.
What you asked,
he got okay.
Yes, Chant Gailey yesterday, how was Nate playing? And he said he's getting the most he can out of a body that's been in this league a long time. Next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, it's a battle between the two top teams in the NFC West as the 49ers clash with the surprising Falcons. Then Brett Favre and the Packers head to New York to take on these Giants, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. Check your local listings. By the way, Atlanta's winning over New England 38-10 now.
Yeah, we were talking about the Giants and their problems, and I think all their problems started when they lost Jason Sehorn. And, you know, he was such a good player that he allowed that defense last year to do the same things the Cowboys do, where Jason Sehorn could take a receiver and let their other 10 defenders play against the 9 offensive guys.
3rd and 5. Aikman with Nate Newton protecting. Gets the ball out. And complete to Ernie Mills. And that'll be enough for a first.
Felipe Sparks is saying there's no way. He thought he heard a double thump.
Yep.
When that ball comes in there, if you hear one thump, that's the guy catching it. If you hear a double thump, that's the ball hitting the ground and the guy catching it. Yeah, Ernie Mills runs a pretty good pattern now.
Yes, he does.
And Sparks was saying that he didn't catch it, that the ball hit the ground. I don't know. I can't see the ball hitting.
I can't either. That doesn't mean it didn't.
I couldn't see it not hitting the ground either.
That's right. Here's Emmitt, left side for 2 or 3. He was down as they pulled the ball loose. There's a pretty good story. Number 76, Flozell Adams, who was the number 2 draft choice for the Cowboys. Normally, and was in college, a tackle, but they moved him into guard, and he stayed there.
Yeah, and I think eventually he's going to be a tackle, though. I mean, you know, 6'7". There are some tall guards in this league, like Kevin Gogan in San Francisco and stuff. But normally, a tall guy, when you're 6'7", 6'8", you have a tough time playing at guard, but you're more made for a tackle. And if you really look at this team, I mean, Larry Allen is built more like a guard, and Flozell Adams would be built more like a tackle.
Troy Aikman in the second half, 10 out of 11, 125 yards, the 1 touchdown of the game, even with that bad finger.
Yeah, and he's gotten the accuracy, and when he gets accurate, there's no one more accurate than Troy Aikman. And whatever was bothering him and Danny Cannell too in the first half didn't bother him in the second half.
I was talking to him before the game, and the fact that the field was wet was really bothering him. You could tell that.
Well, whatever he got in his head, he got out of his head.
Yes, he did. Screen pass. That's to Emmitt. Near the 30. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation, but the clock continues.
And you know, the thing that's impressive about Troy Aikman's second half is and you know, all those completions he had, he's completed to a lot of different guys. I mean, the thing, they're not one-dimensional. In fact, I don't think Michael Irvin caught one. I mean, he had 6 different receivers at one time, and Michael Irvin wasn't one of those 6 different receivers.
Keep in mind that the Giants have used all of their timeouts. So even if they do get the ball, they got to do everything by running out of bounds or spiking it. Here's Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt gets close to the first, and I think he might have gotten it.
Yeah, and they're still working in that left side. I mean, here's Nate Newton, here's Larry Allen. If you get in a short yardage situation, this is the area you want to go in. You see Larry Allen blocks down, Nate Newton pulls, and they run a cross block, and then the hole is right between Larry Allen coming down, Nate Newton kicking out on that cross, and Emmitt Smith just hits the middle of the cross.
And got the first down. It's 1st and 10, 3:02, 3 minutes left now. And again, the Giants out of timeouts. 16-6, Dallas leads by 10. Snap the ball with a second to go, and here's Emmitt Smith. Cuts it upfield.
Yeah, but that's not a smart play. I mean, Emmitt Smith has done a lot, and he's broken a lot of records, but what the Cowboys are trying to do now is keep the clock going. And the worst thing you can do is run out of bounds. He would have been better just by falling down in
but
the
clock's
backfield.
still running, John.
Well, that's in the... Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. We're in Texas Stadium. Maybe that's what it is. Second and 7. Obviously, he didn't get out of bounds. Mills in motion. They snap it with 1 second to go, and here's Emmitt Smith again. And Emmitt close to the 40, and we'll get the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go, and the Cowboys leading New York by 10. This was a must-win game for the Giants. 2 minutes left. Dallas 16, the Giants 6. 3rd and about 2, it looks like, maybe 3.
Well, you say the Giants don't have any more timeouts.
Right.
Well, the Cowboys need a first down here, and then they can run the clock out.
And here it is. Emmitt Smith behind the trap block. Emmitt gets the first down.
And I think now they could probably take Emmitt Smith out because he's done his work for the day. And in fact, they all have, and let someone else just run the clock out here now. In fact, Emmitt's starting to walk off the field. I don't know if anyone has come in for him yet.
Here comes Chris Warren.
Chris Warren's coming in now. What a day he's had, though. Well, this has to be, you talk about a memory and making a memory, and you know, you want to do it on a game when you're playing at home and when you win the game.
And now the Cowboys will just run it out. Today's game being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. Associate Director Mike Roig. The broadcast associates are Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald. Technical producers Bob Mueller. Studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The associate director Jennifer Love. The senior producers Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports Ed Gorin and David Hill. That's in the Ring of Honor. Tony Dorsett, whose records were broken today by Emmitt Smith. What a career he's had.
Yep, and Jerry Jones down there with him, PR director Rich Dalrymple. Everyone congratulating Emmitt Smith, and now he has the record. He broke Tony Dorsett's record. Troy Aikman already has a record. He broke Roger Staubach's record, not today, but he had. And Michael Irvin has a receiving record that Drew Pearson once had. So the triplets have all the records. And that guy there is a big help to getting records too, isn't he, Larry Allen?
Yeah, but how anyone could put a list of offensive tackles or offensive linemen and not have Larry on it is beyond me. Coming up, this play of the game is brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
I think if you have a play of the game today, it has to be this guy, Emmitt Smith. What a day, what a career, and it's a day that he broke the all-time rushing record of the Dallas Cowboys. This is a play he did it on.
That's the record run, and there's what happened to the ball. And right now, let's go down to Susie Colbert, who has Troy Aikman.
Big day for Troy Aikman, but first let's take inventory. The shoulder and how's the finger?
The finger's going to be okay. They did x-rays. There's nothing broke, but they don't know about the ligaments and stuff, and I wasn't able to he had a real good grip on the ball, and it was causing some problems. And fortunately, I was able to still come back and make a few throws there in the second half.
You'll be careful with it this week and then make a decision for next week, or
no? Well, no, I'll be back next week. If I finish this ball game, I'll be ready to go next week against Arizona.
The offensive line did a great job of really holding off the Giants. They really came at you hard today.
Well, they did. And they're an aggressive style of defense, and our offensive line came off and got on people. Emmitt Smith right behind you. He had a heck of a day running the football. He's a great back, and anybody that questioned that coming into this season, I think he's answered those questions.
Well, let's take a second here to congratulate Emmitt. When Emmitt was 20 years old, he walked in here, he looked up, he saw the names. Today, you are the Dallas Cowboys' all-time leading rusher. Is the real thing as good as the dream?
You know, I think winning this game made everything complete so far. But the season is yet over. We have a long way to go. I'm thankful for the opportunity to do it today in front of the home crowd. I'm thankful for Jerry Jones for giving me the opportunity to play here as a Dallas Cowboy. I'm thankful for Tony for setting the milestone so high and giving me something to reach forward to. And most important than that, I thank God for giving me the talent to come down here and do all that I do every Sunday. I try to do the best I can. That's all I can ask of myself.
So many people had written you off, especially last season. How great does it feel to come back out here, silence everyone, and how much you're enjoying this system this season?
You know, it doesn't matter what everybody say. Jesus is the one got the final word over everything. So, you know, he gave me the strength this year to come on out and do the best that I can. My linemen are back healthy. They're doing good. They're playing well. The system itself is set up where all of us can have some success. It's different than it was last year or the past 2 years. And that right there in itself is good motivation to push us forward and to continue to give us that drive to go on and be successful and try to win more championships for this organization.
You and Troy and Michael breaking all the records. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Send it back upstairs to Pat.
All right, Susie. So for John Madden, I'm Pat Summerall saying so long from Texas Stadium, where the final score is the Cowboys 16, the Giants 6. And we'll send you back to the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles with Joe Buck and Ron Pitts with some final thoughts after these messages.
We asked the check on that Dallas, New York Giants game and the victory for the Dallas Cowboys, 10 points. We will end up sending you back to Big Dallas with the guys. The high rent district is down in Dallas, and Ron Pitts, the victory for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it was, and I think, Emmitt Smith wanted to come out. He had over 100 yards rushing just in the first half. It was clear that he had a mission, he had a goal.